The NFL draft is tonight. I will be doing a watch along, so hopefully you can join me later. But now is the time for the final predictive mock draft. I have looked at the odds. I have looked at the rumors. Let's see what I came up with. Let's go ahead, get into this sucker. And I will say the NFL draft is impossible to predict. But I do know Caleb Williams is going first overall. Bam, we got one right already. We got one right already. Caleb Williams, new franchise quarterback for the Chicago Bears. Washington Commanders here at 2. Listen, where there's smoke, there's fire. All the smoke is currently with Jayden Daniels. So I'm going to go with Jayden Daniels at 2 for the Commanders. He seems like a great fit for Cliff Kingsbury, but I would argue that Drake Maye is just as good of a fit and probably has a higher ceiling, while I think Jayden Daniels is a lot closer to his ceiling. So go ahead, snag Jayden Daniels for the Commanders. New England, this one was real tough. Let me run through like the thought process here, because there are rumors that this team has Jayden Daniels higher on its board, but Drake Maye isn't that too far off. They could be also willing to trade, as there's been some interest in both McCarthy and Michael Penix, as Michael Penix has had a lot of smoke about going high in the draft this week. But ultimately, they could maybe get a trade done, but I think the simplest thing, and maybe the simplest thing to happen, would be Drake Maye to the New England Patriots. So I'm going to go with that. Like I said, they may have Jayden Daniels higher on their board, but Drake Maye isn't far off. The Arizona Cardinals, I don't think the trade's going to happen here. I think they're just going to go ahead and send it, take Marvin Harrison Jr., add him to that wide receiver core. So there we go. 4 picks in. I'm feeling good. Now, this is where things get hella antsy, because the Vikings, oh, golly, the Vikings. So the Vikings have been the most active team when it's come to trading up in the draft. However, it seems that they really don't want to give away pick 23. They're not going to move up without giving away pick 23. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen that way. I've also seen that, like, I know the Chargers want to move back, but I've also seen maybe, the Vikings are willing just to be like, well, screw it. Whoever makes it back to 11, we're A-okay with. Ultimately, I think a deal gets done, though. Ultimately, I think a deal gets done, and a trade happens here. So I'm going to have the Minnesota Vikings come on up to get a quarterback. The Giants have also been a very active team when it comes to trading up a quarterback, but at the end of the day, they can't offer what the Vikings can offer in terms of draft capital. So I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings here. I'm going to go 11. I'm going to go 23. I'm going to go with a round 3 pick next year. And we're going to go ahead and send that through. Whoops. Here we go. There we go. Because I totally anticipate a trade here, though I will say the odds-on favorite to go at number 5 has now moved to J.C. Latham, who we know the Chargers are very interested in. So maybe a trade doesn't even happen here and just J.C. Latham goes. It's going to be, let me tell you, the drafts, buckle in. It's going to be a fun ride. I'm going to go with McCarthy, though, ending up a Minnesota Viking. The New York Giants. Again, the Giants have also been a team checking out every quarterback in this class, but the Vikings ultimately could provide a more lucrative offer, a more lucrative deal. There also has been rumors that Michael Penix is in play for pick 6 here. I don't know. That's too rich for me. I bought into the Will Levis rumors last year, and it ended up biting me in the butt when it came to my mock draft. I don't think I'm going to buy into it, at least this early in the draft, and I'm just going to go with Malik Nabers. I'm going to get more receiving talent there for Daniel Jones and his last hoorah. Tennessee Titans. This is absolutely going to be Joe Alt. This may be Rome Odunze, but I feel like this is Joe Alt 110%. That's probably the second pick I'm the most confident about outside of Caleb Williams going to the Chicago Bears. Atlanta, this one's a fascinating one. Currently, the betting odds have Laiatu Latu and Dallas Turner neck and neck with Byron Murphy on the outside. I think Raheem Morris is going to swing on the upside of Dallas Turner, though don't be surprised if this pick ends up Laiatu Latu. Don't be surprised if this pick ends up traded ultimately. I think that could be actually a really good thing for the Falcons to go ahead and grab more draft capital since they're going to lose some next year because of tampering. But we're going to go with Dallas Turner here at pick 8. Before we get into pick 9, again, I'm going to be doing a watch along later tonight for the draft and for all 3 days of the draft. So join us for that. And also, if you want to know about the prospects in this draft class, if you want to know every prospect that your team drafts, then go ahead, check out this lovely promo I've been playing for my draft guide. Listen, I know you love the NFL draft as much as I do, and you're going to want a nice hefty watch list of players during this college football season. Well, go ahead, check out my draft guide. You can purchase it for only 30 bucks by Venmoing or PayPaling me. Links in the description. It's a one-time payment and you get it for this whole draft cycle and forever and always. Technically, it's a Google spreadsheet. So send me your email when you send the payment. I'll get you hooked up. You will see my current prospect rankings and big board, my full evals. And guess what? It updates throughout the whole draft cycle. So it's a great purchase and it's a great way to support the channel. Pick 9, Chicago Bears, and there have been rumors, there have been rumblings that this pick's going to be Byron Murphy for the Bears. Matter of fact, so much so that he is currently the odds-on favorite here at pick 9. But I don't see Rome Odunze falling. I just don't, and I have a hard time believing that the Bears don't take him. I mean, honestly, they could end up trading down, which I think would make more sense, because they only have 4 picks in this draft. And I'm just going to say this is a draft where you're going to want more draft capital. It's a really good draft. Ultimately, I'm going to say that this pick 9, ends up being Rome Odunze in some form or fashion. Honestly, Rome Odunze could go at 8 if there's a trade down with Atlanta, but I'm going with him here. The New York Jets. I'm not backing off my stance. I can... Listen, the Jets currently odds-on favorite to take a pass catcher, but with Odunze off the board, this pass catcher is probably going to be Brock Bowers. Now, I'm going to say, hey, if Rome Odunze becomes available for him, maybe they make a move up because it'll take a little draft capital to get to maybe pick 9 or pick 8. And maybe they go get Rome Odunze. I think that is totally in the wheelhouse. But with them at 10, with Rome Odunze off the board, I still think they go pass catcher, and Brock Bowers is indeed a pass catcher. Yay, pick 11, Los Angeles Chargers. I talked about it earlier that currently J.C. Latham became the favorite to go at pick 5. If they could get a trade down, I think that would be lovely. I like the I like the idea of not taking J.C. Latham in the top 10, but yeah, I mean, this was a cat that Jim Harbaugh recruited, tried to recruit to Michigan. So I think he goes ahead and gets this guy. He's kind of a perfect fit for the offense here. So J.C. Latham, Chargers. Denver Broncos. This is what are the Broncos gonna do? Is Zach Wilson their quarterback? Are they gonna have a Jarrett Stidham, Zach Wilson quarterback battle? I don't think that's gonna be the case. I honestly believe some way, somehow, they're gonna get a quarterback, whether that's trading down here or moving back up in the first round to go get a quarterback. I just don't think that pick's gonna happen here, so I'm gonna have them trade down. We know Howie Roseman likes to get aggressive, so we're gonna have the Eagles getting aggressive and moving up the board. So the Eagles are gonna give 22 to move up to 12 along with pick 50. So that puts the Broncos actually back in the second round and give them draft capital if they want to move back up into the first round, though. I mean, now you're moving down to 22. You're probably going to just go ahead and take a quarterback at 22. So Gonna send the trade through. We got the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me talk through this one real quick for you. The Eagles, they have not drafted or taken a corner since Laiatu Shepard in 2002. That was the last time they took a corner in the first round. Those trends are meant to be broken. Rumor is the Eagles want to move up. Arnold, he is a Alabama / Georgia prospect. That's right. I'm going Terrion Arnold. The NFL seems like Terrion Arnold will be the first corner drafted, even though Quinion Mitchell is my guy. Hey, if Quinion goes before Terrion Arnold, I'm going to be ecstatic. But it feels like at least a lot of the NFL draft personalities like Arnold better than Quinion. And again, he fits that whole Eagles, oh, we like Alabama and Georgia players. Also, though, I will say I will not be surprised or shocked if they move up and they just end up taking offensive line. Like offensive tackle, to me, the Eagles feels like something they would do. Me personally, with how dog water your secondary was last year, you should make a move on corner. I'm going to do that here, but if this ends up offensive tackle, I won't be surprised. Las Vegas Raiders. Listen, I don't think they're going quarterback, at least not in the first round. I'm going to plant my flag in that take right there. I will die on that take. If they make a move maybe in the back end of the first round or in the second round to go get a quarterback, okay, I could see that happen. I just don't think that's going to be what goes on here. Currently, the odds say that offensive line will be this pick, which probably means tackle. Corner is a close second, but the Raiders did go to Washington's Pro Day, and I don't think it was to watch Michael Penix because they didn't wine or dine him. I think maybe they were going there to take a look at a Troy Fautanu. So I'm going to go with Troy Fautanu here to the Raiders. He could maybe start left guard early, and maybe they get off Colton Miller's contract, which I think that sounds silly. If anything, you should be looking for a right tackle. But I'm not here. This isn't what I would do. This is what I think could happen. Also, side note, Spencer Rattler. Currently, the Raiders are the betting odds favorite to land Spencer Rattler. So take that information as you will. New Orleans Saints. This has to be a tackle, right? I'll be shocked if they end up not going tackle. Olu Fashanu is kind of a tough player to project where he may go. I'm going to go with him here. This pick could be like an Amarius Mims, honestly, but I'm going to go with Fashanu because I don't think he falls too far. Indianapolis Colts. Corner is currently the odds-on favorite for the Colts. But Xavier Worthy has gotten some traction. Like, we'll talk about Xavier Worthy at some point in this first round, but he has gotten some serious traction. I've seen him as high as 15. I'll talk about him at a few other spots. I don't think it's going to be here. I think I'm going to go with the odds-on favorite. Them going corner and them going Quinion Mitchell. I think he's just too good. I think corners will go a little bit higher than people anticipate. We might not get him in the top 10, but we're going to get him here, at least 2 between that 11 to 15 range. Seattle Seahawks. Straight up, guys, this is one of the toughest teams to project what they may do. Honestly, trade down feels like a very nice option. Everybody and their mom has the Seahawks going with Troy Fautanu. Obviously, I can't do that. He was off the board at 13, so that kind of puts me in a predicament. This could be a surprise pick, maybe like a Talanisa Fuanga, maybe a Graham Barton, a Jackson Powers Johnson. However, Byron Murphy is the favorite to go at pick 9, and I don't see him falling that far. Honestly, his floor is probably at 18 to the Cincinnati Bengals. So I'm going to have Byron Murphy come off the board here to the Seattle Seahawks. Real quick, got to give a shout out to Underdog Fantasy, especially if you want to get in some of those draft props. Check out Underdog Fantasy. It's the best place to play weekly best ball, regardless of sport, and higher lower on player prop bets, or maybe prop bets for the draft. When you sign up, though, please use promo code Broshmo, and they match that first deposit up to $100 due. So go ahead, check out Underdog Fantasy, use promo code Broshmo when you sign up. And as always, bet wisely, bet responsibly, pick 17 Jacksonville Jaguars. And I smell a trade. We just saw two of the top corners come off the board. I think the Jags would love to move down. And I'm going to have the Buffalo Bills move up. I kind of anticipate the Bills to maybe make a move up the board to try to go get a wide receiver. So they're going to get 17. And actually, the Jags are also going to give them 114. But in return, the Jags will get 28, 60, and 128. So we're going to go ahead and send that trade through. Buffalo Bills are now drafting here at 17. They are also a popular Xavier Worthy landing spot. We're going to talk about Xavier Worthy quite a bit in this predictive mock. I don't think that'll be the case, though. I love Brian Thomas. I feel like if you're making this move, it's a significant move. Go ahead, get size, get speed. I think Brian Thomas just has that incredible upside. So I'm going to go with him here at pick 17. Pick 18, the Cincinnati Bengals. The odds say the Bengals will go with offensive tackle. And I'm kind of connecting the dots here. The only offensive tackle currently available that I'd probably be willing that should go in this range is Talanoa Fuaga. On top of that, although I would say Amarius Mims as well. I keep forgetting Mims is still on the board. But Mims wasn't a top 30 visit. Talanoa Fuaga was. He could start guard early. And then once Trent Brown goes ta-ta, bam, you insert him there at right tackle. So I'm going to go with Fuaga here. Los Angeles Rams. The odds say the Rams are actually going to take an offensive lineman here, which isn't out of the realm of possibility. I just don't feel like the board fell that way for them here. So I got them going with edge, which is the next odds-on favorite. And they have expressed some interest in Jared Verse. You would think Laiatu Latu, being from LA. Nah, they have expressed interest in Jared Verse. So I'm going to go with Jared Verse here, though I will say some odds have Xavier Worthy going at pick 19. Again, I just kind of want to note that because, hey, if it happens, I want to at least say, hey, at least I talked about it. I just didn't think it was going to happen. Pittsburgh Steelers. So odds say offensive lineman will be the pick here. This pick could be maybe a Graham Barton, but I think they're going to go back-to-back years taking Georgia tackles because I love Amarius Mims. I don't think he's going to fall that far. I have him as a top 20 prospect. Here we are at 20. You get him. Roger Jones kicks out to left tackle. Bada bing. There we go. Amarius Mims going to the Steelers. Also look for Nate Wiggins here as a potential dark horse. I've seen him get some love on some of the betting lines. The Miami Dolphins. I would love the Dolphins to trade back here. But let's be honest, they probably won't. I don't see that happening. I don't think they're going to do it. Odds say the Dolphins take offensive line, and this could be a Graham Barton spot. But I think that they will look to get help on the edge with Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb having late season injuries last year. And they shown with like Jalen Phillips, they don't mind taking guys with medical red flags. They don't mind it. So we're going to go with Laiatu Latu. I don't think Laiatu Latu will fall that far in this draft. Again, he could go at 8. I think he could go at 8. I don't see him making it past the Dolphins, honestly, though. So with that, the top edges are now off the board. But don't worry, we're gonna see some more edges. All right, not Philadelphia Eagles. It's the Denver Broncos because they traded with the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, y'all are gonna have to hear me out on this. I think Bo Nix is a Sean Payton quarterback. I just somehow think that the Denver Broncos are going to walk away from this draft with Bo Nix. but I'm buying into the smoke. I'm buying into the Michael Penix smoke. Fun fact, Bo Nix wasn't a top 30 visit for the Broncos. Michael Penix was, though they probably met with Bo Nix at the Combine. But I'm going to buy into the smoke that Michael Penix ends up going in the first round. I'm going to go ahead and snag Michael Penix for the Denver Broncos. But I want to make it, I've literally for like, what, 4 or 5 months now been doing Bo Nix to the Broncos. And just now I'm just going to go ahead and be like, no. I think Michael Penix ends up in the first round. I don't know. Man, the NFL draft's a wild ride. I'll just say the NFL draft, it's a wild ride. Pick 23, we have the Los Angeles Chargers. They had Nate Wiggins as a top 30 visit. So I think they're going to go ahead. If they are able to make a trade where they get 2 first-round picks in this class, they'll probably go offense and then probably go defense. Nate Wiggins going to the Chargers was a top 30 visit. Dallas Cowboys. And again, this is going to be an instance of me buying into some of the smoke. So the rumors currently, there are so many rumors right now about Dallas just loving Graham Barton. And it reminds me of when the Cowboys took Tyler Smith. There were so many late rumors about Smith going to the Cowboys, or the Cowboys loving Smith, like into the buildup of the 2022 NFL draft. I hit on that pick then. I'm going to buy into this and hope I hit on Graham Barton to the Cowboys. But to be fair, Barton could go much earlier than this. Maybe the Cowboys have to make a move up the board to try to actually secure Graham Barton. I don't know. We'll see. Before we get to that Packers pick, though, what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below, where we had a nice, beautiful football discourse. Green Bay Packers, it's destiny. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they don't even like Cooper DeJean. I feel like he's a really good fit for the defense there. He gives them very good versatility. He ends up being here. I think they'd be, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they moved up for him. But he ends up here at 25. It's just going to make it all that more funny when they don't take Cooper DeJean. And everyone and their mom has been projecting Cooper DeJean to the Packers for like 4 or 5 months now. Essentially this whole draft cycle, let's be honest. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, really would have loved an edge for the Buccaneers. Wouldn't mind Graham Barton if he was here. Which now the cogs in the brain started turning. I was like, okay, then what could the Bucks do here? And Xavier Worthy came to mind. I'm not going to lie. Ultimately, I settled on them trading out of the first round. And I don't think that's too out of the realm of possibility. Because I think a team like the Washington Commanders are going to be pretty feisty here. I think they're going to want to make a move up because they got a lot of draft capital. So they're going to get pick 26. They're going to send the Bucks pick 36, pick 78, and pick 152 to move up here to go ahead and get some offensive line help. And a big part of making this move is to get ahead of a team like the Baltimore Ravens, who I think actually really like this player as well. I'm going to go with Jordan Morgan. Jordan Morgan was a top 30 visit for the Washington Commanders. And again, he had a private workout with the Ravens. I think the Ravens really want to go offensive line, offensive tackle in particular in this class. So I'm going to go with Morgan, who can honestly start left tackle right away. Maybe you could play him at left guard if you want just Cornelius Lucas to start there at left tackle. But regardless, they get a starter there to protect their new franchise quarterback. Arizona Cardinals, I think they'll probably stay put here. And I'm going to have them going with edge help, as they're going to go with Chop Robinson at this juncture. Chop Robinson was a top 30 visit for the Cardinals, and his current over and under is at 26.5. So this is kind of right in line with where the betting market thinks he might go. All right, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars. We trade back because the top corners were off the board. Kool-Aid available to us. I like that. I mean, that move down has you still picking in front of the Detroit Lions. And if you feel like, maybe we should go ahead and make a move up to guarantee we get him, you added extra draft capital. I mean, currently the Jags now, they have pick 48, pick 60, which is Buffalo's, and they added pick 128 as well. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to snag Kool-Aid McKinstry. They're going to get that help at the corner position. Detroit Lions. Ooh. All right. So I'm going to buy into a little bit of the hype here. Darius Robinson had a lot of hype coming out of the Senior Bowl from NFL personalities. And I'm still going to buy into that. He's got some of that late first round hype. He also feels tremendously like a Dan Campbell guy. He's someone who's going to be able to come in there and fit very well on the edge. Kind of, you feel like you're getting not just a like a John Kaminsky type of body, but also with the edge ability of maybe a Marcus Davenport. So we're going to go with Darius Robinson here for the Detroit Lions. Baltimore Ravens. Odds say the Ravens want a offensive lineman. And I'm going to go with Tyler Guyton. I still think he probably has some first round hype. I know some people have kind of cooled on him, which that's fine. I was never like that into him. But here at the back end of the first, you're willing to take a swing on the upside, the movement skills, the length, the play strength. You're willing to swing on that and hoping to develop him and polish him a little bit more technique wise. So Ravens are going to snag him right here. San Francisco 49ers. So odds say the Niners go with an offensive lineman. And I got back to connecting the dots because like I entered this like, man, I really do think Jackson Powers-Johnson, like I may love him, but I don't think the NFL will love him. I don't know if he makes it into the first round. And then I look, his current odds are, in terms of where he goes, is 31.5. We're at pick 31. San Francisco 49ers currently bet in favor to get an offensive lineman. Send it. Let's do it. I love it. Jackson Powers-Johnson making it in to this mock draft. Here we go. And then last but not least, the Kansas City Chiefs. I personally would take Adonai Mitchell here. I'm not going to ignore the hype on Xavier Worthy, though. I'm not. I just can't. Like, his odds have skyrocketed so much. Could it be a big smokescreen? I don't know. Betting markets are typically pretty good the closer we get to the draft. If a guy's getting a lot of hype up the board, then it typically means he's probably going to sneak into the first round somewhere. I mean, dude, his odds have him going places like at 15 to the Colts or 19 to the Rams. Or I've seen the Bills be a favorite to get Xavier Worthy. Like, the hype might be real when it comes to Xavier Worthy going in the first round. I will say, for the Chiefs, currently, offensive line is currently not the better favorite, but it's even with wide receiver. So we could see like a Kingsley Suamataia be kind of a surprise pick here for the Chiefs. But I'm going to buy into Xavier Worthy makes it into the first round some way, somehow. Let's go ahead, snag him here for the Kansas City Chiefs. Which means Carolina Panthers, oh man, we always get shafted in these. What will we pick? What are we going to get? Hey, you're going to get Adonai Mitchell at literally at pick 33. There you go, Carolina Panthers fans. But there is my predictive mock draft. I think it's in the realm of possibility, but I don't think it looks kooky enough to be what happens in real life. I really don't. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. If you want to cram some draft content before we get to tonight's festivities, check out these videos down here. But as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.